Louis Jenkins is a master of prose poetry. He's an irregular guest on radio, and his work is now on stage. Welcome, Louis.
Thank you.
So tell me about this stage project. Nice Fish, or the poems that you've written, have a stage life.
Yeah. When I met Mark Rylance, he'd been reading my poems. He encountered them in an anthology that Robert Bly had done. So anyway, he said, I want to make this play using your poems.
We better go back and explain who Mark is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mark Rylance.
Yeah, Mark Rylance, who is currently starring in Wolf Hall on public television. He won the Tony Awards in 2008 was the first one, I think, and used one of my poems as his speech. He heard, or hears, two voices in the poem. One he imagined is slightly older than the other one. Old friends, out to go for a day ice fishing.
Is it all just one collection of poems, or they draw from all kinds of parts of your canon?
Yeah, Mark had poems up on the wall, you know, and he'd say, what if we put this one here? How would that work there? You know, and so we had sort of a kind of vague sketch of how it's going to go, the play, what action is going to happen. There's one where one of the fishermen says to another character, oh, I remember how my mother sounds. So then he reads this poem, A Disappointment, which you know that poem, you know, he says that, you know, we're all deeply disappointed in you.
It's a powerful poem that makes people uncomfortable. They don't know if they should laugh or not.
Yeah.
Is that how the whole play is?
Well, it depends on the poem. Yeah, I think there's a certain ironical take on things. The afterlife. Older people are exiting this life as if it were a movie. I didn't get it, they are saying. He says, it didn't seem to have any plot. No, she says, it seemed like things just kept coming at me. Most of the time I was confused, and there was way too much sex and violence. Violence anyway, he says. It's not much for character development either. Most of the time people were either shouting or mumbling. Then just when someone started to make sense and I got interested, they died. Then a whole lot of new characters came along and I couldn't tell who was who. The whole thing lacked subtlety. Some of the scenery was nice. Yes. They walk on in silence for a while. It is a summer night and they walk slowly, stopping now and then as if they had no particular place to go. They walk past a street light where some insects are hurling themselves at the light, and then on down the block, fading into the darkness. She says, I was never happy with the way I looked. The lighting was bad, and I was no good at dialogue, he says. I would have liked to have been a little taller, she says. So that's how the play ends, with that.
What was it like to see it staged on the Guthrie stage?
Oh, I loved it. It was just really terrific. And, you know, opening night, I get to stand up, take a bow.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is. It was lots of fun.
That's awesome. So are you continuing to write? Where are you at in your writing universe?
Yeah, I continue.
30 years into this, Louis.
Yeah. I continue to write poems, and I don't know if there's any more theater on the horizon, but it's possible.
Certainly having that relationship with Mark Rylance.
Yeah, that was a big, I got to start at the upper level because he's absolutely brilliant, and he's a brilliant actor and knows how to put a play together and make it work. So it's great.
You also have had a pretty good relationship with another poet in Minnesota, Garrison Keillor.
Garrison reads poems on the Writer's Almanac and does a fabulous job. He's got perfect voice for reading poems, I think. And get some nuance just right.
As far as writing, what advice would you give a young poet?
I think, you know, you write a poem, you just say, what the hell, and go at it, and then put it away for a little bit and look at it again and see, you know, what needs to be changed or what's not right. Sometimes you have to wait a long time. I've waited as long as 10 years to finish a poem sometimes. Is
poetry a viable occupation today?
It's one that people keep doing, you know. As an occupation, as a business, no, of course not. You're not going to make any money, or if you do, it will be a small amount, and you have to be lucky, you know.
A lot of people say maybe you can't make a living, but you can make a life.
Yeah, well, when I started, it seemed like the most important thing that I could do. It was what I most wanted to do, and I kept doing it. Now I'm not sure why, but I did, and you know, I still like it, but you know, some of that kind of enthusiasm that you have when you're 25 wears off by the time you're 70.
So can we expect another volume of poetry from you?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
You better get busy.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.